Hi everyone, welcome to Angel Update, November 15th, 2025. This is Adria Estribou, and mostly we're here to hear the angels, probably Angel Raphael, maybe Angel Ariel today, channeled through me. And if you are listening live, if someone could type in the chat, please, if you can hear me before I plunge into channeling. I always like to check that. There is a bit of a delay, so I'm just going to wait until I see if someone can hear me. Thank you so much. Okay. I am going to hold off from speaking about my own experience about the energies right now. Maybe it'll come up in the end with questions, or certainly I've been putting out a lot of YouTube shorts or things on Instagram lately, so it feels like a time when we could all use a little more support and context, so I'm stepping up for that and happy to do so. But I have a sense that there's some strong energy coming through from the angels for us today. And they've asked me not to censor it. Every once in a while I kind of hesitate because I'm not sure what they're saying, but I understand it later. So maybe it'll seem a little wild to us. We'll see. That's my preface. I really don't know what the topic is today, but I will turn it over to the angelic for our upliftment and better understanding today. This is Angel Raphael. Humanity is in what we would call a bandwidth of ascension. So the energy continues to rise. If you were filling a glass with water, you would see, yes, there's already water in the glass, but it does continue to rise. So the energies are like that. If you had been feeling parched for new information, higher frequency, or change of some sort, already the resources are beginning to pour in, like in this analogy, the water in the glass, and they will continue to rise. So if you are enhanced in your sensory experience of the world, there's different names for that and different types of enhanced sensory experience. You may be feeling a little unhinged or a little bit in bliss. We ask you to perceive that these are like two sides of a coin with a very thin barrier underneath. So if you have a symptom, let's say feels like a lot of electricity is running through your physical self and it feels a little bit jittery, jolty, even though you had no caffeine. Well, so it's a little uncomfortable, right? And you think, well, I better calm down, but you can't really figure out how to do so. This isn't what everyone's feeling. We're just saying a few of you are, as an example. So what's behind that? If you can perceive in whatever way you know how, and this is a good time to playfully try new ways because you'll have new sensory capabilities coming alive within you, awake within you. What is underneath that layer of perception? So the perception is body feels jittery, jolty, awake. Just ask yourself to perceive either what is behind that or what's deeper than that. And you may find that source consciousness, solar light, Earth's vibrational push upward right now, or any number of things are behind that physical sensation. It's important to get to what's behind it. Yes, there is some interference. Yes, a few of you here and there have attachments or something like this that you need to let go of, and they may be letting you know that right now. But for the most part, what's happening is you're rising up. And when you rise up, it doesn't feel the same as, well, you go to the analogy now of a wave. You were standing on land and you got lifted up by a wave. Whether you're on a surfboard or not is a comfortable ride, but it certainly doesn't feel the same as when you were on land. And so it's unreasonable to expect that your body will feel the same through this transition. It's unreasonable to expect then when you are seeking or asking for or receiving the greatest change from angelic perspective, the greatest change in humankind's history, that it will feel like easy breezy, nothing much going on. So it's a sacrifice, if you like, maybe something to endure, maybe in terms of discomforts or lack of sleep or feeling a bit unwell one way or the other, or just becoming really aware of what others are thinking and feeling around you. All of this, new skills may feel like discomfort at first as well, as much as you have been seeking them. So again, it's unreasonable to expect in a time of great change that you will feel unchanged. Like you are just going to sail through, lay back, like you're at home on your couch and no big deal. Everyone else is going to freak out, but I'm fine. Yes, perhaps you will, in fact, enjoy this quite a lot. We're not saying you have to be in discomfort, dis-ease, ill health, ill feelings, or any of that. You can enjoy this time immensely, and it's not going to feel the same. So exhilaration of some kind, or just the ground isn't there under my feet in the same way. Of course not. The earth is rising up. The sun is showering light codes for humankind and earth. There's a little bit of a love affair right now between the earth and the sun, and humanity is in between. So you may be feeling energy coming up, energy coming in and down through, and those energies meet and mingle very harmoniously. They're not embattled energies. A little bit of it, yes, is the energy reflecting and bouncing back from one solar body to another, earth and sun. However, there is emanations coming from the sun and there is emanations coming from earth. And so you as an earth dweller get both right now. And that's a lot. But that is what's required to rise up, to change. So again, we would say this is very short term. A few weeks, not even a few months here, of being in this filling up with greater and greater frequency to arrive at a place that activates change within. Some of you are already activating, some of you require a little more higher frequencies, so you're not late, you're not missing the bus if you're not feeling anything right now and wondering what is everyone talking about. And some people misinterpret the anger or the angst they're feeling with life circumstance, and they're looking around for a way to blame someone else, a politician or something like that. We're not saying some politicians aren't behaving badly right now, but it's easier at the lower levels of vibration to look around to blame others when you feel things are disconcerting. And change for the human self, as we've said in the past, is disconcerting. The human self seeks stasis, and yet it is a changing being in every moment. So it's one of the greater paradoxes of being human. This is Angel Raphael. Good. So context first. We want you to please know with great certitude from the perspective of the angelic, from the perspective of many galactic beings surrounding and circling Earth right now with a lot of love and intent for higher light on behalf of humankind, for the human vessel to evolve into having the capacity for greater knowing, greater light, greater connection to source light, that you have so many friends around you, and that the perspective from these friends is that this intensification of frequency is good for humankind. Good, quote unquote, good, meaning it is causing you to evolve into a being that has capacity to hold greater light, has capacity to run greater energies of healing for your own health and for others, for the planet as well, has capacity for the greatest harmony that your races have yet seen, human races. This is Angel Ariel. Good. So, when you come into change and the human self knows it doesn't define change as a good, as a positive, and yet you as a soul or you as a persona have been questing after change. It's again a compromise. All right, short term, there may be a lot of change and it may feel like discomfort. Okay, so, oh well. Please don't cling to what happened today, what happened tonight, what's going on next. Because this change of frequency is so sharp and so fast from angelic perspective, being not in time. You are almost instantaneously becoming something new. That's very fast for evolution. That's very fast for evolution. So you don't need to manage or control or make it feel like a better ride. But it can help to know that from the perspective of all these friends who want change for humankind for many, many, many reasons we can talk to you more about once you're through the change, that this is good, the change is going well, it will get stronger before we speak again in this format. It will grow quite bright, intensify. You don't have to hold the light. You don't have to hold the light. Some of you are worried you'll miss out, and so you're hanging on to every particle of light. Let it wash through, please. Let it go to Earth. Earth then brings you the second waves up, and then another wave from the sun, and then Earth brings a wave up. You are part of the conduit of this lightning rod. For some of you, you don't all focus your energies that way. In either case, you don't want to hold on. It's not like you are like the glass of water. Oh, the more I can get, I better just hold it because this is all the light I'll have for this life. No, like a wave, you want to let it rise up and crash down and not try to control or hold or manage the light in any manner. This is important because at some moments, the bliss or the amount of light or the skills that you tap into for an hour or a day or 3 will be so entrancing that as you start to feel the light perhaps recede, you want to cling. No, don't take my light. Please trust that for the capacity of the ongoing health of the human system, it's best to let it move out and pass through. So as we have said, the wave crests, it gets higher from here, it reaches a peak, and then it comes back down. Not down to where you were before, but to a more sustainable level. So you don't have to worry about going back to how things were. That can't happen. But good not to try to hold on. If you feel like, oh no, it's the end of the wave, and you feel a little bit deflated, just it's fine to feel any emotions or physical sensation around that, but we would urge you to just let go. Take the whole ride. Because once you've reached that peak and then come back down as a human vessel, you have greater capacity to reach that peak on your own, let's say in a meditation or other exercise like that. Transcendental meditation, any types of meditation, connection, direct connection to source. It's like giving you a pier peeking through the doorway or the open gates. They're still open, but you might feel, oh, wait, they're getting further away. I must be doing something wrong as this energy starts to subside a bit. We're not there yet. We haven't reached the peak. We're just talking you through this a little because, again, you're likely to feel this before we speak again in this format. So less than a month from now. So let the whole ride happen because you will stretch your capacity to hold light, but then the physical system is going to want some rest from this. And again, you don't go back to old normal, but you come back to a more sustainable frequency plane. A little bit of force or higher frequency light needed to make the whole push. It's not that the angels or the sun or the earth have miscalculated and overshot and then come back down. The push of extra light is needed to do some extra clearing, planetary systems for your own health, for your own bone density structure. This light is working on so many different parts of you. It's really not important for the brain to grasp how much is going on, but to know to expect it's not going to feel normal. So why do some people feel nothing? Some people feel emotional weight right now. Some people feel physical pushing or pulling or clearing that feels too strong maybe at times. And others seeing more or getting glimpses into their gifts. Why does it hit humankind individually, uniquely, so differently when you are all the same type of being and what's coming in is the same type of light? Well, if each of you were to eat the same food, any type of food, you have different reactions to it. Some say, I'm not hungry, that's too much, I feel overfull. Some want more and more and more. Some say, this isn't the right food for me. It does depend on where you are and where you need to go next in your journey. It is a compassionate light. It is consciousness within you is highly adept at focusing light where it needs to go within you. So if your journey in this life story is more of an emotional one, it will focus there to propel you on deeper or higher than you have gone in those realms. This is Angel Raphael. The less you can try to interpret with the mind, the better the ride will go. So let's give you an example. Oh, I have a headache and I heard there was a solar flare. The sun must be pushing out an old virus, or the sun must be too much for me and I need some caffeine to modify, or less water or more rest, or it would be better if I went outside, or it would be better if I went inside. And the mind is scrambling so hard to try to figure out how to help you through this. Mind is your friend. It's trying to help you through this by trying to solve the crisis, the problem. From angelic perspective, there is no crisis and there is no problem. What's happening is that you have a highly intelligent consciousness, which is harnessing the light coming from sun and earth, primarily right now, towards your betterment. Because it's highly conscious, it doesn't need the mind to direct what's going on, and it doesn't need the mind to understand what's going on. Can be a form of clinging to try to fix or understand or grasp. You might be hanging on to the experience of, let's say, the headache longer than necessary because you're overanalyzing what it might be. What if instead you felt a sensation? There's something here, might be pressure, pain, not quite sure. Let me just tune in. What's behind that? Or what's happening right now that this kind of feeling would arise. So without trying to fix it, going a bit wider or deeper within yourself to experience what it is in fact. Or if you feel, I don't know how to do that, then just not putting a story around the headache. If you want to, this might help some of you. Write a list. Okay, November 15th, I had a headache. Later, you could figure out what it was, right? If your mind really can't let go of, this seems important and I need to figure out every sensation, or I need to remember this, well, then write a list, but keep moving. Otherwise, you expect yourself to have a 3-month headache, and it may just need 3 minutes with you to direct some light in a more focused, intentional way than it has in the past. So again, the wave, the ride, you're hearing these words perhaps from others as well. These are things that move. So the less you cling to what was in the past or any peaks and valleys along the journey here, the more you can just move with it, let it move. So if you have a sensation, what is that? What does it feel like? What's behind it? Any of those kind of questions where in innocence you can focus on it in a way that's assuming it's moving and not assuming that it's stuck and therefore needs to be fixed or solved. This is Adria. We're going to stop for questions. If you have any, feel free to type in the chat, and I'll pause for a moment because there is a delay. So I don't see any questions, although on my end there are 2 that say message retracted, which is quite interesting because I don't know if you retracted them or something or someone else did. So sorry if you did have a question, I'm not seeing it yet. And I can always take questions later if you want to email me or write in the comments, and the angels might answer later, but just pause another moment and see if there's more coming through. Oh, great questions. How do we discern Ascension symptoms, disease? Many of mine could be Ascension or diabetics. Another question, what happens if you are not seemingly experienced in any of the new gifts? Why would that be so? And is it possible that others around us in 3D notice a change in us, particularly our families? And related again to gifts. I'm reading these quickly because I don't know if the messages are being retracted. There is such thing as censorship in the world sometimes. You mentioned glimpses of gifts. When will they come in fully? Great. We'll let the angels take those in whatever order. Thank you for your questions. Feel free to keep typing them in. This is Angel Raphael. Yes, physicality and health is quite a conundrum right now. If you have an ongoing health situation that you're aware of, where you take medication or you're under doctor's advice, we'd suggest to continue the mode that you're used to. In other words, when this marker goes to this level, I'm supposed to contact my doctor, or this pill I take in the morning, this pill I take at night. Through this time of change, sameness can be helpful. Same with diet and exercise, although sometimes you may find you want to eat a lot more or a lot less. That's all right to follow your cravings. But stay within, for now, the modes you're used to when you have symptoms of some issue that's physical that you're aware of, that you're already getting care for. That's, for many reasons, it might be that is physically the best mode, but you also want to keep yourself out of fear and doubt. It's not time to plunge off into faith and trust when there's alarming things going on in the physicality that are not new, that you're aware of. So, yes, just to continue and take symptoms in the physical as, I wonder, this could be what I'm aware of, the diabetes or the heart condition, whatever it is. Could be it's an Ascension symptom coming through. In most cases, it's going to be a little bit of both. So the pressure of the light may be, in fact, healing a medical condition, but meanwhile, the symptoms are coming through, it's exacerbating, it's clearing. So to get support in whatever form you usually get support for those conditions is helpful, because you don't want to ride this out in a difficult manner, right? So get support. Also know that it's likely that your health will change in the next few months, but still monitor and get the support you're accustomed to. So if things appear to be getting worse, yes, treat them or get help as needed. And yes, it may just be a flare-up from Ascension that's going to clear something out and through to heal your system. Self-healing abilities are one of the things we expect in humankind as you ascend, as you activate your genetics, particularly because Arcturian, for example, many other self-healing modalities in some of these galactic strands in you. So we do expect your health will improve short term. Get the supports that can help you through safely and easily. Good. Others may not notice. This is Raphael. Again, those that are choosing to stay in the lower densities may be feeling pressure in a different way, where you feel it as pressure to ascend, and they are feeling, if you're staying within a system that is being pressured to a collapse, let's say third dimensional systems, we mentioned school systems, things that maybe are just stale and not working very well, there's this pressure for them to collapse so that a new fifth dimensional system may arise. So if you're very attached to the school system remaining as it is and you want to defend and protect that, then you feel this pressure like everything is against me, right? So they may be feeling this in a very different way, not interpreting it metaphysically. So if there's part of you that's clinging to third dimensional systems or the old ways of being, even ones that you enjoy very much, that's the part where the pressure might feel difficult. And here we're speaking more about mental pressure. So look at that in yourself. We would say don't really worry about anyone else, how they're going to interpret this time. Everyone, we would say, is going to be so busy with their own version of this, whether it's that they think things externally are, again, pressing in on they have to protect their way of being, or physically what's going on, emotionally what's going on, that they may not have time to notice that you're riding through this with a smile on your face. And they may not notice when your gifts start to come up as well. So we'll speak a little bit about gifts. Again, we would say in these initial phases to not try to control or hang on to. So if you have a flash of a vision or a smell or a sight or something you hear and it's lovely or perplexing and you want to know, wait, what is that? Don't worry if it just flashes through. Just let it move. That comes with time and practice, where you understand what your gifts are and why you would have new gifts to answer that question. It only makes sense if you have 12 galactic strains in you that have been dormant that are now activating. It's sort of in response to this solar and earth call and response. Something in you says, oh, it's time to wake up. And of course, that means other ways of perceiving, other skills. It's only natural that those had been undefined in you until now because they weren't awake. Some parts of you are awake. We're not saying you were totally asleep, but the dormant parts are waking up. It takes a little while to figure out what are these gifts and how do I hone them and use them with great clarity. For now, you can just start to notice what they are, what they might be. Oh, I heard was that celestial sound? Was it a light? Just tune into it a bit more, but the mind doesn't have to map it all, control it all, engage with it all right now. The ability to use your abilities will come quite naturally also. This is Adria, just pausing for a moment to read some more questions. Great. Okay. This is Angel Raphael. So continuing to let things move, continuing to let things clear through you. And the more you can stay focused on your own being and not trying to interpret what's happening for others, we also suggest that for this time. And then let things settle around you, You'll have time to come to a new normal with your family, with your loved ones. But during the ride isn't the time to try to figure it out. Who's ascending, who's not ascending? Why do they feel this when I feel that? Just let it go. The less you try to control or hang on to either the old systems or the new light, the easier. So we'll leave it there for now. As needed, we will post short or long messages. And please do send in any questions you have as things go on. And know that we are with you at any moment. You can call on the angelic, your own angels, and the host, the holy host of angels. And we don't belong to any religion. So you may call on us directly without preamble. We are here to assist and love and guide, but mostly we are excited to see you emerge as the sovereign being of light that you are, and to see that you contain within you also the angelic gifts and light. And so very soon you won't need us, the angelic. But while you do, or while you delight in our company, we are here with you. And not to control or direct you, but just to help you to better understand what's going on, to embrace you with our light. Many, many blessings from the angelic unto you. Know that you have so many beings of light surrounding you, and this is the time of humanity's rise. Rise into light, rise into your empowerments and gifts, rise into harmony, rising into light. This is Adria, so we're going to end there. Thank you all for joining and watching later and being part of this great rise of humankind. Just pause for a moment here because, again, there is a delay. I want to make sure the broadcast doesn't cut off too soon. But that's all for today. Lots of love to all of you.